If you want, you can come ahead. It's too far away. So, we are into our third session. Humbly seek your blessings and prayers so I can recite Srimad Bhagavatam. Very grateful to ISKCON Berlin, Nilambar Prabhu, and all the devotees and you all who have been coming and inspiring me also. I'm also grateful to Suryadev today. My mood is better. It's better sunny day. So, any quick recap? Anybody who have been coming now since yesterday morning? Want to give a quick thing what we have been discussing?
We heard the story of Parrot.
Parrot. We started with the story of Parrot. Good.
Yeah.
So we need to ask
Are
someday, when are we going to get free?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Next.
Dhruv Maharaj story about pieces of glass.
Okay, yes. We discussed a bit about Dhruv Maharaj, his desire, his dream, how he eventually compared his dreams to broken pieces of glasses, which can even hurt us. Okay, anything else? That's it.
The 3 verses we read.
We read a few verses from Srimad Bhagavatam where Vritrasura is pouring out his heart.
seeking association of devotees, friendship with everyone,
Yes.
and direct service to the Lord.
And
Surrender.
Surrender.
my consciousness and body completely surrender to Krishna. Okay, what else?
We talked about friendship.
We talked about friendship, yes.
That it should be selfless and
Should be selfless. Okay, good. Next.
about the dualities.
Yeah, dual nature of this world. Yes.
Something about humility also.
Okay, yeah, about humility. Good. Practical way how Prabhupada defines humility. To not be anxious, to derive satisfaction of being honored by others. Just make this as the goal of life. Life will be perfect. It's very simple. Doing anything and everything, just don't be anxious to derive satisfaction of being honored by others. Life will be very simple. Good. Next.
Indra, Brihaspati,
Indra and Vritrasura episode. Good.
Romaharsha and
Romaharsha episode. Balaramji episode. Good. Next.
Then Indra
Vishwaru.
goes with all devatas with Ashwini Kumaras.
No.
Okay,
Vishwaru.
in sequence, yeah.
Yes.
Vishwaru.
Vishwarup. Indra goes to Brahma. Brahma tells him to go to Vishwarup. Vishwarup was son of
Twa- Twa-
Twashta.
Twashta.
Vishwaru killed by
Vishwarup. Eventually, with the help of Vishwarup, Indra gets Narayana Kamach, right? And defeats all the asuras, kills all of them. And he's enjoying. Eventually, says that asuras are still growing somewhere. The power is rising still. Becomes agitated, goes and chops the heads of Vishwarup, gets affected by Brahmahatya dosh, and
Then
four different categories of
sins.
people came and then took 1/4 of his reactions. Bhumi Devi got deserts, water got foam, trees got slab, women as a class got their monthly periods. Then they got Indra rid of his simple reactions. And then
Vritrasura born to be killed
Vritrasura
by
is born by the
Twashta.
Twashta performed a sacrifice. There was a bit of problem with the meter. Then Vritrasura is born. Okay, then
Then
Then Dadichi, they approach Dadichi.
they go to Brahma
they go to Devatas go to Brahma.
and
Then everybody takes Brahma takes everybody to
Vishnu,
Vishnu. Vishnu tells to go to
Aditi.
Dadichi Rishi, Dadyancha, so another name. Then we study the story of how Ashwini Kumaras were good disciples of the Dyancha. They were given Brahmajnan by Dadichi Rishi in the head of the horse. Okay. Eventually he gives up his body. Vishwakarma creates Vajrayudh. Indra goes to fight with Vritrasura, and
And he's in Vritrasura eats Indra.
in between a lot of things happen.
He explains the glories of his Lord Sankarshan.
No, before that, Indra threw a club.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then he returned.
Yeah, throw away.
Then the elephant.
Vritrasura
With
returned the
Airavata,
Airavata
he
bleeding.
flew and Airavata was bleeding.
It was not bleeding, it was
Throwing
vomiting.
blood.
There's a difference between that, right? Yeah. So eventually Indra killed Airavata, and Indra was so ashamed of his own power compared to Vritrasura's power, so he was not offering fight at all. So Vritrasura became frustrated. He started chastising Indra, scolding Indra. Somehow he had to ignite anger in Indra. And when Vritrasura tells that you have been empowered by Vishnu, that's when in Srimad Bhagavatam we see a different character emanating from Vritrasura. He started glorifying Sankarshan Bhagwan. He started expressing deepest, most humble and most sublime prayers, which are, Acharyas compare this to even the level of how gopis offered their hearts to Krishna. So Vritrasura, imagine somebody who is such a demonic person, who has created havoc, who is just literally eating people, and then suddenly he starts glorifying Krishna. Then we paused. So then, eventually, we also discussed how Indra then killed Vritrasura, and then got Vaishnava Hatyadosh, and then he was hiding inside a stem of a lotus in Kailash, and eventually got rid of all the sinful reactions by worshipping Mother Lakshmi and Lord Shiva. Then Parikshit Maharaj asked, how is it possible for such a demon like Vritrasura, who was like tormenting the universe, who has been, he's been the focal point of, if somebody is categorizing, bad qualities, like as bad as Vritrasura. That kind of person, how was it possible that he was remembering Sankarshan Bhagwan at the point of his death? Somebody was so powerful, more powerful than Indra. How is it that he got such an existence where he is literally blood drinking Rakshasa, human blood drinking Rakshasa? So Shukadeva Goswami starts answering. First, congratulates Parikshit. The entire Vedic literature is question answers, right? So when this is something, a constant theme in Srimad Bhagavatam, that you see Shukadeva Goswami appreciating, because Parikshit he had 7 days to live. He wouldn't be much benefited by asking some of the things, like for example what we were asking yesterday after the session, right? Like what are we thinking? We're thinking in different ways. Like we get caught off a few things which are perhaps intellectually we need some more information. We need quite a few devotees were asking what happened to Parvati, disappeared and never came back, where he went, and things like that. Parikshit had to, he could also perhaps ask, but then time was short. He had to really focus. What is this? What's going on? So Shukadeva Goswami appreciates Parikshit's question and then starts telling that long ago in the kingdom known as Shurasena, there was a king by name Chitraketu. He was ruling the entire earth, and he was so pious and he was so chivalrous. He was really a great king. The citizens just loved him. And everybody was just so happy under his rule. There was just only one problem. Even though Chitraketu by himself was qualified to get a son, meaning that he was not having any physical disabilities as such, which would make him not to conceive son. Srimad Bhagavatam very clearly tells that he was qualified to have a son. But his wife didn't deliver a son. And he couldn't get a son. So he married, so the first wife's name, Kritadyuti, couldn't get a son. He married second wife to get a son. She also couldn't. He married third. She also couldn't. Married fourth, fifth, 10th, 100th, 1000th, 10,000, 100,000, 1 million, 10 million. He married 10 million wives. That's quite a, you may think of figurative number. It's not. It's very clearly Shukadeva Goswami tells 1,000 multiplied by 1,000 multiplied by 10. That's the number which 1 million multiplied by 10, that's 10 million. That's the number of wives Chitraketu married. Right? Still no son. So Srimad Bhagavatam tells that the wives happened to be not conceiving son. Right? They just couldn't. Now you see the life is so interesting that the mind usually gets latched onto something which it thinks that I need. Right? The moment mind thinks that I need this, and it doesn't need to be anything as such significant. How many of us have the experience that there is something stuck in the teeth? Very small thing, it's really not significant, but irrespective of what's going on in life, your tongue just keeps going to the teeth. Right? It doesn't matter what's going on outside. Your only concern in life is that I need to get rid of that. Isn't it? In the contextual awareness, how significant is that? Right? There is some small food particle which is stuck in the teeth. Right? Is it that important that they just keep? But unless that comes out, we are just not able to think anything. I don't know how many of you have the experience. But that's how mind is. In the moment it thinks that this has to be addressed, that's it. Now imagine the patience level of somebody to get married 10 million. Right? 10 million. It's quite an endeavor. But because I want a son, I'm not getting it. So unless that gets satisfied, mind just cannot. It just that's the thing with mind. Now Hiranyakashipu had the entire universe under his control. There were only 3 presiding deities of the universe, Brahma, Lord Vishnu and Lord Shiva. They were the only 3 people who were above Hiranyakashipu's jurisdiction. Everyone else is under full control of Hiranyakashipu. Everybody. Hiranyakashipu thinks if he was like me, and if weather would become like yesterday's, he would just raise his eyebrows. All the Ashtadikpalakas and the Devatas and Suryadev and Indra, everybody would be so frightened that Hiranyakashipu is just raising his eyebrow, and they would be at his feet. So how much temperature? 23.5, let's set it. Well, when entire universe is like that, but there is a 5-year kid who is his own son, who is not really, following the instructions. The entire universe was ready to recite Om Hiranyakashipu Namah. Prahlad was Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudeva. So just one small kid is not following, and Hiranyakashipu's full consciousness is, I need to fix this guy. Right? He is not thinking about how everybody else is. It doesn't matter. This boy needs to be fixed. And the more he is not able to fix the boy, the more frustrated he is. Right? Eventually he becomes so frustrated. What's your problem, man? Really? And the whole universe is following me. You can also do it. What's your problem? And Prahlad is like, it's very cool. I'm worshipping the person who is giving you the power. She was so frustrated with that. So that's what mind does, if there is something it thinks that I need this. This has to be done. When it gets latched onto it, just cannot think anything. Whole day and night, Chitraketu would just keep thinking, I need a son. What else can I do? I'm married like so many. Still not getting. What else? He went into depression, just thinking, I want a son. I want a son. Nothing else, I just want a son. So eventually one day to his kingdom, a great Rishi by name Angira walks in. Srimad Bhagavatam tells out of his own free, sweet will, Angira Rishi walked in. So Chitraketu welcomed Angira Rishi very nicely, made a nice asana for Angira, made him sit, washed his feet. This was the Vedic culture. Whenever a great sage would walk in, the king would literally give his own throne and then worship with all the paraphernalia as if God has come. And gave him prasad to eat. But Angira could see that this guy is off. His mind is off. It's not really, the mind is not active in the service. Many times maybe we also do something, right? So we are worshipping deities, or we are singing, or we're chanting, or we are talking with somebody, but mind is off. Right? There is something else which is running in mind. One day after we came to Goloka Dham last 6 months ago, I think, during Easter retreat, retreat, and we had come with a group of devotees, and after I went back, I got a big ticket from the German police that I was driving way too fast. I was under the impression that it's just Autobahn everywhere. I would just drive whatever speed I like. Turned out not to be, and then I got a big ticket. And then anyway, I paid it. The only glitch was that I had got the ticket after the pay date had expired. There was something going on with the post. It arrived a day after the expiration date of the payment. So they had only given like 1 week, and it came on 8th day. And I was like, anyway, I paid, right? It was a huge ticket, but anyway, I paid it. A week later, I get another notice that we are banning your license. I freaked out. So Siddhartha Maharaj was supposed to come and to Amsterdam, and we were supposed to host him. I was supposed to driving him around, and how do I do this? So I went to police station myself, asking, like, what are you doing? Are you going to arrest me or something? So I got this notice from German police. So there was no clarity from the police there, and from next almost a whole week, as it happened on a Friday evening, and until Monday morning, wherein one of my German colleague, he called the German police and then got some clarification of what's going on. I just couldn't really, I went and gave a class, and I went and I was in programs, but mind is just off. I'm just thinking, Maharaj is coming in 5 days. If my license is banned, what am I going to do? Who am I going to ask? Who is going to pick up? Who is going to drive? So I was just off. I was just giving classes, but just totally off. Not being present really. So anybody who came across me would perhaps figure out that this guy is off. Right? He is just doing things, but really not there. So Angira could figure out that Chitraketu is off. He asked, Chitraketu, what's the problem? Of course, understandably, you're ruling the whole earth, meaning that there could be always problems. Those who manage the small ISKCON temple it's quite a big deal. Janita Prabhu can tell you more maybe. It's quite a lot to manage something. And if a person is managing the entire earth, so that was Angira's first guess, that are there some problems in some sections? have any issues? Chitraketu said, no, everything is very good, no problems. Angira asks, are you having any problems with your ministers? Some of them having some cunning nature, and they want to become the kings. Any issues there? No, everybody is very good, no problem. So what's the problem? Chitraketu just falls at the feet. Please, Angira, you are qualified. You are a self-realized soul. You can avoid things. I want a son. Please give me a son. I have married 10 million wives. I'm not getting a son. I need a son. Please, I want a son. Angira felt that yes, this person is really in need of son. But sometimes a living entity doesn't have bhagya. English you can loosely translate as destiny, but it's one's own accumulation of whatever past activities one has done, and because of that, some people are destined to something, some people are not destined to something, and Chitraketu was not destined, but then he was lamenting so much that he was on the verge of collapse. So Angira felt merciful, so he tells, sure, I will award you a son. Get the son from your first wife, whose name was Krita Diti. And Angira tells, please keep the name of the son as Harsha Shok. Srimad Bhagavatam tells that as soon as this was told, Chitraketu is so happy, and then when the name is told, he starts thinking, oh, what is that? Harsha Shoka. What is that? So he wanted to ask questions, but Angira didn't wait for question answer session. Like yesterday morning session, we had a lot of questions. How do you feel? Yeah, no, you can ask questions. I just walk away. So, of course, these questions are not as critical as Chitraketu's. It was burning question in him. What does this mean? Is it like, long ago there was a person by name Vena, was born to a king by name Anga. So Anga was, he comes in the lineage after Dhruva, and once Anga was performing a sacrifice, and no Devata were coming. And I'm digressing just for the sake of it, so that you connect it afterwards. So Anga asked from the Brahmanas, what's wrong? No Devata is appearing in the sacrifice. What's going on? The Brahmanas just quickly did a historical, not Google search, but their own calculations. They could do it. And saw that this person Anga is so pure that in his entire life has not done even one mistake. Can you imagine? But then they could go back to past life and they tell, this life you have been so pure, no mistakes whatsoever. Past life you have done something because of which you don't have a son. So because you don't have a son, no Devata is coming here. You need to first get a son. So Anga, okay, please, tell me, what should I do? Let's worship Vishnu. Let's perform a sacrifice for the pleasure of Vishnu. Let's get a son, and then we continue with everything else. So they arranged for a great sacrifice on the side of the sacrifice which they were doing, and then first did this and then pleased Vishnu, and there was a person who appears to give benediction, the assistant, the servant of Vishnu, and then with that prasad, Anga's wife became pregnant. And the son is born. And the name was kept as Vena. However, this is fourth canto Srimad Bhagavatam. Vena turned out to be such horrible personality that he would take boys to play near the well or the lake and then push other children to death. Now he is born out of prasad from Vishnu. Can you imagine? And the guy is doing like this. He would just kill people like anything, even from childhood. Anga was just wanting to somehow or the other teach this person some good qualities. And Vena never got any good qualities. Anga became so frustrated that I can't teach this person. He just left. Whole kingdom. He just went to forest. I can't deal with this guy. He's so bad. Can you imagine? You have been so pure in your life, and you got a son by the mercy of Vishnu, and then turns out like this. And Vena eventually became the king. The Brahmanas made him the king. And then Vena stopped all the Vedic rituals in the entire kingdom. Vena started telling that I am God. If you want to worship, if you want to do any spiritual activities, it has to be towards me. You either don't do anything or worship me. So everybody chose will not do anything. Nobody wanted to worship Vena. And eventually the Brahmanas killed him also. And later we see that the mother was extremely attached to Vena. Even after he was killed by Brahmanas, still kept the body, and later Brahmanas come back and they started churning, and then from the arms, Pruthu and Archi came, all Vishnu's avatar. Anyway, going back, Chitraketu is thinking that perhaps my son will be like Vena, maybe. So bad. Angira is blessing me to get a son, but maybe he will be like Vena, a horrible son. Then he thought, something is better than nothing. Let's get a son. It's okay. Even if he is bad, that's fine. And live with it. So, in the due course of time, Kritadyuti delivered a son. As instructed by Angira, the name was kept Harsha Shoka. And when a small child is born, it's a very different dynamic. I don't know how many of us have small children or seen, maybe if not your own children, but maybe your brothers or sisters or cousins. It's pleasing to the heart beyond measures, right? Because the small activities which the child does. My brother has recently they have got a small baby girl in their lives, and this baby just reaches out and holds hand, and the smallest things it does, it just encaptures the heart, right? It's such feels so good to the heart. A small baby doesn't have the teeth yet but wants to bite something, and when the baby what do you call it does in the beginning it can't really tilt.
Roll over.
And then roll over. Eventually it learns to do that, right? And there's so much of happiness when it does that. Right? My brother called me, my mother called me, my sister-in-law called me, like, hey, today, there's videos of it. And then next task is that eventually it will start crawling, right? So it's so amazing that it does it. And so this guy is doing all those things, and Chitraketu is over-flooded with joy. Imagine that you have been trying so much to achieve this, and then finally you have got it. How happy he would be, right? Every small thing that the child is doing, Chitraketu and Kritadyuti are just, flooded. The whole kingdom is also happy because Chitraketu is happy. There's only one problem. Any guess?
Envious the lives.
So previously, it was just a democracy across 10 million. Everybody is equally sad. Right? Just 10 million wives equally sad. Now, the equation shifted. Right? Now it's not 10 million. It's 9,999,999 versus 1. And this 1, Chitraketu is with her all the time. Right? Previously, it would be like, in In the previous times when a husband has multiple wives, everybody would be having their own house. Now this is a king. So every queen has their own palace. Chitraketu previously, as I said, there was democracy. But now he is only with one person because the child is there. Not because he makes Kritadyuti as such, but the child is there with the mother and Chitraketu is there with the child. So the rest are getting no attention from Chitraketu whatsoever. Right? He's with the child. Makes sense, right? Perhaps any one of us would do the same thing, maybe. Because the whole reason of getting 10 million wives were that I want a child, and eventually there's a child. You spend time with the child then. 9,999,999. What should they do? It's so sad. We are not getting any attention from the king. They feel so sad. And that's another thing mind does. When there's a problem, what does it do?
Latches on to it.
Exaggerate.
No. Yesterday we discussed it. Yeah, exaggerates of course, but not specific things we discussed yesterday. In the case of Indra,
It
starts doing analysis. Why? How? And then, after analysis, Indra did analysis that asuras are growing and then wants to eliminate the
Yeah.
cause, right? So, Vishwarup was the cause, Indra eliminated the cause. Now, in the case of Chitraketu's wives, the root cause analysis was very simple. Very simple.
Harsha Shoka.
There is the cause. What you should do?
eliminate.
Eliminate the cause. So they found an opportunate moment when Prithvi is away. The nurse who is taking care of the son is away. King is in the palace in his assembly. Nobody's there. They fed poison. That's quite vicious. It's quite cruel to do that. But then mind can go to that extent. It can. If it feels that there is a problem I need to fix it, it will go to any extent. You can see in modern time you may see that this is exaggerated, but look in our own recorded history or look in current, just read the newspapers around the world. People do crazy stuff sometimes. Right? Just crazy. Why? Doesn't really make sense. But yeah, that's what mind does. It impels. So eventually the maid comes to take Harsha out of the cradle where he's put in. And then the child's eyes were stuck in the top, right? Like this. Right? And that's a sign of death usually. So the maid gets a bit anxious. She reaches out, sees, it's not breathing. And she becomes so worried and sad and anxious and stressed, and she shouts for the queen. The queen just runs in, and then when she sees that the child is not breathing, she started crying so loudly and just fainted. And the news reached Chitraketu, and it was like a thunderbolt striking on his head. He just couldn't believe what just happened. You got so much of happiness, and suddenly that whole thing is taken away. He started shouting and crying, and he just jumped out of his simhasana, and then he's wanting to go near the child, but then he's in so much of distress that he just faints himself on the road. So Srimad Bhagavatam tells that he would just get up and cry so loudly that he would faint out of his cry, and then eventually get up again, then walk a few steps, crying and sobbing, and again faint. And just imagine the state of, the mental situation of Chitraketu. This is so sad, just not able to think anything. He eventually reaches the place where child is there and Parvati is there. When he sees the child dead, he just can't control himself. And by then, everybody assembled there. And Srimad Bhagavatam tells that even the people who had fed poison, even they were not able to. Usually, it's quite contagious. Right? If somebody cries, then automatically you also feel a bit pity, and you may not be able to connect with the thing, but still you cry. But here they were on the other side of it. They were the ones who caused it, but still they started crying because Chitraketu crying so much. And Srimad Bhagavatam tells that Chitraketu had cried so much that he had almost become blind. The water, just so much of crying, he can't see anybody really anymore. And everybody is together just crying. The situation was quite ghastly. People crying together out of pain. It's not a happy scene at all. And if you put ourselves, that's when we perhaps will make some progress in our life. Let's feel that. If this is what happens to us, how would we deal? Now we may tell that I'm a devotee of Krishna. I do this, I do that. I come to temple, I chant Hare Krishna. If such pain attacks us, we would collapse also. Right? In most certain cases, all of us are fair weather devotees, just like me. There is sun, I feel very happy. Yesterday I was not, of course you all were very bright, so gave me some inspiration. As soon as I would get up from the session, I would feel like, my God, my head is heavy. Outside is so discouraging to my mind. So we are just nowhere compared to what we experience, and in good weather we are all good devotees. Right? Nice association, nice prasadam, pretty good. I failed in one of the Dutch. We were working towards our permanent residency in Netherlands, and I had to learn Dutch and give exams. And one of the exams were about Dutch national history and society, and I failed. It's such difficult exam. I failed. When I got the result, I got fever. I don't have this experience of failing in my life. I saw the result. Just barely failed, 5 out of 10. 5.5 would have been a pass. I got 5. I got fever. Right, that's how I am there. So compare that with Chitraketu's situation. Somebody who has really worked so much to get a child has died now. Unbearable. And to the scene enter Angira Muni with Narada Muni. And Chitraketu is first of all not able to even see who is there, who is who. He is not able to, his eyes are not working anymore. So Angira introduced himself. Oh Chitraketu, why are you crying so much? And Chitraketu is like, who is this? He is not able to see. So Angira introduced himself that I'm Angira, I'm the one who gave you the son. And with me is Narada Muni, my friend. Chitraketu now finally got a ray of hope. There are now persons, 2 of them, really qualified, falls at the feet, starts begging, please bring my son back. I can't live without him. I have suffered so much. I can't live without this son. I need this son back. Oh Narada Muni, you are such an amazingly extraordinary qualified devotee. Please bring my son back. I want my son back. And the situation is so highly emotional that Narada Muni also felt we show mercy. So he calls, my dear child, why have you left? Look at your parents, the king and the queen. You are such a young boy. Why have you left them so soon? Please come to life. It's quite reassuring for Chitraketu now. Narada Muni is doing something. And to everyone's amazement, the child got life. Not just got life, it started speaking. And very interestingly, Srimad Bhagavatam tells, like when somebody speaks in any of the Vedic literatures, you see Bhagavad Gita, Dhritarashtra Vacha, Sanjaya Vacha, Shri Bhagavan Vacha, Arjuna Vacha. These are the characters who speak in Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavatam, you can see, Shri Raja, Parikshit is addressed like that. Shri Shuka Vacha, Shri Suta Vacha, Shri Shaunaka Vacha. And in this case, when the conversation is happening between Narada, Shri Narada Vacha, and then the child is speaking, and what should have been ideally the address of statement? Harsha Shuka Vacha. So Bhagavatam takes a very interesting approach here, and the headline is Jiva. Watch. The living entity spoke. And I read that, I was like, that's amazing. That living entity started speaking. Offered its respects to Narada Muni. Dear Narada, so happy to see you. Please tell me, why have you called me here? And Narada Muni tells, dear child, you're such young, you're a baby. You should not be leaving now. Look at your parents, they're crying so much. Why have you left them? You're supposed to become prince one day, and eventually become a king one day. And don't make them sad. You should be, and then make them happy. And the child, the living entity, very humbly, in very innocent way, it told, dear Narada, you're telling that this is my father and mother. However, I have no idea in which my life these were my parents. I have just no idea. In some of my lives, I have been a devata. In some of my lives, I have been a human. In some of my life, I have been an animal. I have no idea in which of my life it was in which these people were my parents. So now, if you allow me, I need to go back. Offer respect. What's dead? Imagine you are there in that scene now, and you are Chitraketu. Chitraketu's, sometimes when somebody is in absolute distress, situations like this can give extraordinary realizations. The person is, he is so much wanting to get this, and that guy just, I don't even know you. Who are you? Right? Imagine this. For those who have no child, imagine your parents. Suddenly, they just don't talk to you, and then you approach them, and I don't know who you are. How will you feel? Or if you have a child, or you have the most important person in your life, just suddenly tells you, I don't know who you are. Who are you? How will you feel? How will you feel, Sumit?
Shattered, probably.
How will you feel, Chetan?
Same.
Raghav?
Yeah. Shocked.
Shocked. What else? What other feelings? Let's see. Any other feelings come out?
Traumatized.
Traumatized. What else?
Better I die than to hear these things.
Yes. Great. What else? How do you feel? Feel it, feel it. It's important that we feel. Srimad Bhagavatam needs to be felt. Feel it. How do you feel? Hmm?
Angry also.
Angry. Why? I did so much. Do you even know how much I had suffered to get you? Right? And you're telling me, you don't even know me? You are telling something, Mataji?
Yeah, maybe you are also a little bit relieved because
Relieved.
you don't have the duties anymore.
But unfortunately,
Another point.
the guy was not in that. Many of the parents yesterday, I don't remember who was it. One of them were telling, I was talking with the parent yesterday, and they were like, one of them was telling, do you feel like sometimes you need to exchange your son with somebody else because they're giving so much of trouble? Swap it out. It's so much of trouble.
But when just a baby tells me, who are you? And I tell him, okay, you're a baby. Because you're a baby, you have not this mind.
Yeah.
I just say, I'm a parent.
Yeah, but the baby specifically told that I don't know in which life they were my parents, right? So it's sort of disconnecting itself from the relationship. So not that, I don't know. It's only if it was only I don't know, that would have been fine. But it's quite conscious that I have undergone multiple lives. That's what it tells. I was a devata sometime, I was a human sometime, animal sometime. Have had different sets of parents every life, and I don't really recollect in which life these were my parents. So Chitraketu felt an extraordinary sense of realization that all that which he is struggling in life is all just futile, just useless. Straight falls at the feet of Narada Muni to please accept me as your disciple. I need to understand. I want to get some spiritual knowledge. And Narada Muni felt compassion at Chitraketu and told, sure, don't worry. I'll give you a process. To strictly follow this process. And with this, you'll be able to achieve spiritual perfection. So Narada Muni gave specific mantras to Chitraketu which were addressed towards Sankarshan Bhagwan. So Chitraketu started reciting and then following the instructions of Narada. And in 1 week, he's just doing this now, right? So everything else is gone. The kingdom, wives, he's just into reciting what Narada Muni instructed. He got a mantra. He's doing that. In 1 week, from a human state of existence, he became a Vidyadhara, which is a higher state of existence, Gandharvas. And in a few days from there, so that's how Srimad Bhagavatam puts it. It's 1 week. So from human, he is Vidyadhara. And from then, a few days. So if it was like 2 weeks in total, Bhagavatam told like 1 more week. But a few days, imagine maybe 10, 11 days total. See this picture here. That's 6th canto, right? I can't see really in my eyes. My vision is. That's 6th canto.
Yeah.
So that thing happened. You all see this picture here, which is in the center. Yeah? Specifically that. The one who is sitting down is Chitraketu. One who is on the top, the white looking guy, is Sankarshan Bhagwan. It's also here? Okay.
Yeah, it's here.
Yes. That's Sankarshan Bhagwan blessing Chitraketu. Can you believe it happened in like 10, 11 days from this incident? Amazing, isn't it? Guy is just talking with Sankarshan face to face. He got fully perfect. Sankarshan is so happy with Chitraketu. Chitraketu offers his heartfelt prayers. Sankarshan is so happy with Chitraketu that he tells, I'll give you a plane. With this plane, you can travel anywhere in the universe, spiritual world, material creation, anywhere. Wherever you want, this plane will take you. And Chitraketu starts traveling in the flight. He can go anywhere. He's a self-realized, perfect person now. He can go and meet Sankarshan Bhagavan anytime he wants. He's having personal association of Sankarshan Bhagavan. He's just having a direct access. He can go and meet anytime. He can go and serve anytime. And he has a plane which can take him anywhere he wants to go. It doesn't matter. Be happy. Go anywhere you want. Chitraketu is traveling. He can go to any spiritual planets, anywhere. One day he happened to come across a mountain range where he looks down and then sees like Lord Shiva is sitting with a great assembly of sages. So now this happened after millions of years, right? So Sankarshan Bhagavan is also Ishtadeva of Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva is an expansion out in Sankarshan. So Lord Shiva is also in his heart always meditating on Sankarshan. Chitraketu is Sankarshan Bhagavan's favorite devotee also. Right? It's like Lord Shiva and Chitraketu are like buddies. Right? Now Chitraketu is in a different realm of existence though, right? So he's not like us anymore. He's not like a king anymore. He's in a different state of existence altogether. My friend is giving class. So many devotees. Wow, I want to go and hear also. So he comes down from his flight, sees, and in a while he realizes that the topic of discussion, just like our topic of discussion, cherished dreams of life. He realizes that Lord Shiva is speaking on austerity, renunciation, being a bit detached. And these were the topics which were being discussed. And there was Parvati sitting on Lord Shiva's lap. And Chitraketu started laughing. Hey, what is this? And the guy is speaking on renunciation, austerity, and all these things, and having his wife on the lap. So that was sort of fantastic vision for Chitraketu. He started laughing. Quite evidently he laughed. It's a bit socially not right if you do that. Not sure, anyway, I didn't really care much about the Chitraketu laughing. Parvati felt extremely offended. How can this person laugh at my husband? So she calls, Vatsa, come here. It's very interesting in Srimad Bhagavatam. Amazing, she tells, my dear son, please come here. Because Parvati felt genuinely in her heart, this is my son. As such, Lord Shiva and Parvati, they are the parents of the whole created universe. Jagataha Pitaram Vande Parvati Parameshwara. The whole creation is coming. Krishna tells in Bhagavad Gita, I'm the seed-giving father of everybody. Krishna speaks basically from the Shiva Bhava. Right? Krishna, of course, Shiva is an expansion, so that because as such Vishnu doesn't have anything to do with material world. Anything which happens here is through Lord Shiva. So Parvati felt, this is my son. He's quite elevated. So she calls Vatsa, come. So Chitraketu goes forward. Parvati addresses again, Vatsa, you are a personal associate of Sankarshan. This behavior was not expected out of you. You can't be coming here and offending Lord Shiva, right? Who is a transcendental personality. You don't have right. You have got puffed up by being a personal associate of Sankarshan. You are not qualified. So, my dear son, I curse you. Go and become a blood-drinking, human blood-drinking Rakshasa. You are not qualified to be a personal associate of Sankarshan. You need to learn how to behave. So here is my curse. How do you feel? Let's go back to some feelings.
Sorry for
Somebody comes and tells you now, your next moment onwards, you go around in Berlin and start picking up people and eating. That's your job. You have to do it. How do you feel?
sorry for the mistake.
You're sorry for the mistake. Okay. Okay.
Feeling bad for self, basically.
Okay.
Feeling bad for yourself.
Okay. What else?
Everything has been wasted.
The whole thing. Starting from 10 million wives, right?
My God.
You see, Srimad Bhagavatam is such an amazing literature. This person's life is instructive on so many levels. You know, the same person who was wanting 10 million wives now, right? He was wanting a child and he eventually got Narada Muni, and then Angira Muni gave a son, and then the son died, and then Narada Muni brought the son back, and then he got in 10, 11 days he is perfect. He is with Sankarshan, and for millions of years he has been associate of Sankarshan now. How do you feel?
I don't know whether it's relevant, but how such person can have a downfall if he's
The question is, how would you feel? We'll take the other questions later. So we think that, how would you feel?
Yeah, miserable, very miserable.
Miserable. Okay. What else?
Stupid.
Stupid. Okay. What else?
Devastated.
Devastated. Okay. Shocked. Yes, that's nice.
Homeless.
What else?
Hopeless also.
What else? I gave a hint before. So if you think in that line, you will perhaps
Eradicate the cause.
eradicate. That was previous thing. But yeah, in that line.
Anger.
But
Anger.
yes,
Anger.
right. So because he was also qualified, quite. Lord Shiva was his buddy, sort of. They were like, of course, not as equal, like not equal, but it's like having a person who is just very simple example. Don't equate it. But there is a guru, and there is a senior disciple, and there is a junior disciple, but still they're all brothers, right? So this person is still quite qualified. He could exhibit anger. Could potentially exhibit anger. But Chitraketu just comes, humbly bows down at Parvati and tells, Mother. He also calls Mother, because Parvati addressed him as son. Chitraketu tells, Mother, thank you very much. Ultimately, whatever is going on, it's all by the sweet will of Krishna. I accept your curse. Whatever has come on me, it's all because of my own actions. I accept it. This goes away. Lord Shiva turns to Parvati. This is a devotee of Krishna. This is how their character is. You see, at the end of hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, practicing spirituality, becoming a devotee, at the end, the character needs to develop. That's where we should be focusing. Skills, they will come and go. Other things will come and go. Character needs to shine. At the end, that's what which has to come out. Srimad Bhagavatam focuses on that, how the character comes out. And Arjuna was so skillful. He could protect himself if he was standing in the center. People are shooting from 360 degrees. Arjuna could protect himself. if you read Mahabharata, you'll see Arjuna, if Arjuna is in a battlefield, nobody would be even able to see when Arjuna is putting his hand, which hand he is reaching out to take out the arrow, when is he putting into the Gandiva, when is he releasing, when is he reaching out again, and then it would be like flash of light. That's how skillful he was. And he could do that 360 degrees. That's how skillful he was. And that person, eventually, he was given one last service by Krishna, that you protect all the 16,000 wives and the wealth of Dwaraka, take it all to Hastinapur and then protect them. He was given this final service by Krishna, and then he's trying to do that, and then there is an attack in the forest from forest dwellers, not even trained archers, forest dwellers, and Arjuna wants to protect. And this is Krishna's last instruction to him through the. And Arjuna just wants to protect them. Takes his Gandiva, takes his arrow, and wants to shoot. The arrow just falls right in front of his feet. Has no skill left. Nothing is left. He is badly defeated. There is not even a fight. He just couldn't protect anybody. There was no fight offered at all because all the skills were gone. The character stands out. What Arjuna does then? If you study Bhagavatam with this heart, that this is where I need to be reaching. Right? The character needs to stand out. The heart needs to stand out and surrender to Krishna. At the end of the day, that's the most important thing. My heart, where is it? Where is the consciousness? Where is the chitta latched on to? What am I really thinking all the time? Am I really Krishna conscious? That means that 24/7 I am just in Krishna consciousness. It is not that I go to Krishna consciousness, I come back. I go to office, I come back. I go to family, come back. And then I chant, come back. Right? It can't be like that. I need to be Krishna conscious. And that's the whole purpose of Srimad Bhagavatam. It brings out, because unless we get there, our lower nature will stand out. We become angry, we become somebody is wanting to come maybe. It's okay, maybe they will find the door. We become angry, we become frustrated, we become disappointed, we become dejected, we become multiple. Raghav, maybe they went. Yeah, yeah. So all these things are possible when heart is not really. We have not become Krishna conscious. If you have become Krishna conscious, then we understand what is my ability at the end of the day. Who am I? And how much ability can I really do this? Is it this? Is this okay? I want to drink some water, of course. But is it my strength with which I am doing this? Is it me really? If it is my ability, forget drinking water. Speaking now, I'm speaking. If this ability is mine, truly, and no one else's, it belongs to me. So this is a bit philosophical now. Think what should be the criteria then? If I need to think that the speaking ability is mine, how to prove that it's mine, or how to disprove that it's not mine? If it belongs to me or not? How do we prove or disprove?
Just like heart is also beating without our like being conscious of
Mhm.
it. Many things in our body, like digestion is happening.
But speaking is not that, right? I'm speaking consciously. Is it my power or not my power?
Others are also speaking.
Others also speak. But I am not bothered about others speaking. I'm only bothered about my speaking.
So we can only desire, but the energy is supplied to us.
No, I think that it's mine.
Yeah, but Purishan Prabhu, there said in one lecture, so if it would be yours, then you could also control it, like stop it. So every activity you perform with your hands or with any part of your body, so then you could stop it. If you could control it, then you could stop it.
Yeah, you could.
But you could not stop speaking if you want to like live in this world.
Yeah, that's one way to put it, that I'll be able to
Or you could not stop do anything, you know. We are in Bhagavad Gita, it's told that
one has to perform some actions all the time. The other way to put that is, if it was truly yours, then even when I become old or I'm deceased or whatever, I need to be able to speak, right? Because it's mine. But eventually, things I need to give up. Senses start giving up. Taste, of course, and all the taste buds die eventually. It can't really taste. My ability to move things, whatever, everything. As I become old, senses start becoming just like a car. After 20, 30 years, if you drive, it's almost as good as it's good for nothing, right? So nothing is really mine at all, and none of the strengths which I possess is mine, and none of the skills which I possess are really it's belonging to me. And I am sort of in this vast creation, which is an expansion of Krishna. It's the meaning of Vishnu, one who is all pervasive. I'm there as a infinitesimal part of Krishna. I'm just existing. I need a support to exist. If I don't have support, I can't exist. Right? The speech, I'm speaking, but if the speech has to reach someone else, I have not created the space with which the speech goes. Right? So at the end, nothing is really, I have nothing of my own except my own desires. And that's all which is mine, and everything is facilitated afterwards. Prakriti kriyamani gunai karmani sarvasha. Ahankara vimudhatma karta hamiti manyate. The person who is foolishly ignorant, selfish, thinks that I am the doer. Otherwise, I understand I am not the doer. I desire. And we are expected to hit this stage as humans. We as humans, we have a special ability to process the rational, intelligent choices. We can process them, and we can process the intelligence basically. So the more we can start thinking about who am I, what exactly is going on in this universe, how do I surrender to Krishna, why should I surrender to Krishna, all these things will become our own realizations then. So many times these are borrowed. Right? We have just borrowed someone else's realizations, we have borrowed someone else's conclusions, we have borrowed. It's okay to begin with like that, but then they should become our own eventually, and we have personal realization of what is it, what's going on around. And then eventually that's when everything is taken out, I'll not be confused then, because I never lived like that anyways. And Arjuna never lived like, that's all mine. So as soon as it was all taken, it was easy for Arjuna. Okay, Krishna, thank you. You gave this strength, you gave these skills. It was all because of you. You have gone. So it's easy to surrender. Chitraketu just exhibited this amazing character, and on the other end, the other stories were going on. Indra is offending Brihaspati, and the whole Vishwarupa incident, and Vishwarupa is chopped by Indra now, and Twashta is so angry, and Twashta wants to create a creature now who is going to kill Indra, and then boom, and here comes Vritrasura. Right? Now just looping back to what we have been discussing since yesterday morning. See, we discussed quite a few dreams in our sessions now. Right? Can we recollect quickly which different dreams we discussed just in the context of Chitraketu and Vritrasura now?
Chitraketu desired to have a son.
Chitraketu's dream to have a son. Right? He really wanted to have a son. Yes, next.
So one wanted to get back the sun when he
wanting to get back the sun. Yes.
No, he wanted many wives for that. First. He wanted to marry many wives for
Yes,
that.
yes.
Then the child.
Yes, child is born, child is gone, child is dead, child is... Okay, I want a child back. Yes, what else? Which other dream?
Vritrasura's dream to go back.
Vritrasura's dream afterwards to go back to service, because he was a personal associate. Yesterday you are asking why he wanted to direct service. Because he was doing that. Right? That's what he was doing. He was a personal associate of Sankarsana. You can see in the picture. He's just right next to Sankarsana, sitting next to Sankarsana. Right? So, okay. But he puts it in very clear terms that you can also see other, like the Chitush Kumaras and other people who are there next to Sankarsana. So he was, that's what I want friendship with the like-minded associates of you. I can come and associate with them also. I want to serve them. Okay. We saw the dreams of Indra. His dreams are always, I want to achieve. Right? Or somebody has taken, I want to get it back. We saw the dreams of Ashwini Kumaras. They wanted to get Brahma Vidya, and somehow they eventually figured out how to get it. We saw the dream of, we can say there was a desire of Tvashta, then that I want to kill this person. You came and destroyed my son. I want to kill you. So many different dreams, but the dream which is standing out now is that dream of Vritrasura, who has been bereft of his service to Krishna. Not just bereft. Now to get that, we need to really understand the context of it. That if I was asked this, and I'm not in a even in a position of Chitraketu, that I'm in direct service of Sankarsana Bhagavan, sitting next to Sankarsana Bhagavan and serving. In our own levels, we do some service to Krishna. And if you are asked, just get out to the streets of Berlin and start killing people. That's your job now. It's quite ghastly, isn't it? Would we like to do that? Well, let's say you just somehow, there's the other side of the question now. You're anyway somehow forced to do that. How do you feel now? And you understand that you are serving in temple. Yesterday I was serving in temple. Today I need to go on the streets and I just need to pick everybody and eat. So how do you feel then? You remember that yesterday, now Mahaprasad is coming, we have deities. It's an amazing experience, but if you are asked now from tomorrow onwards, it's a different thing. You need to just, your food, breakfast, lunch, dinner are humans. You need to just eat that. Just pick and eat. And you look like a huge mountain. That's how you look like from this shape, how you are sitting in front of Sankarsana. You're basically, if you walk in, there is night. Nobody can see anything. And everybody hates you. People want to kill you. Even devatas are thinking how to get rid of this person. Vishnu is devising a plan of how to get rid of this person. That's the life Chitraketu had to undergo. Now imagine the level of intense desire. I'm done with this, enough, I did it. Parvati cursed, okay, fine. I lived that life. Now this is the moment I can go back. That was the level in which Vritrasura is now telling this prayer. I don't need anything. I have seen it all. Those were the praises, right? Nanaka prishtham nachaparameshtyam nasarobham narasadipathyam. I have been a king. I was ruling the whole earth. I have enjoyed all the enjoyments, whatever is needed. I have even gone to Vaikuntha. I have seen that also. I don't need all those things. What I really, really need is I'm missing service. That's what I'm missing. I really need that. I need this service to Krishna. I need friendship with the devotees. I've been missing that. Imagine you're such a great asura that nobody wants to even talk to. You don't have anybody to talk to. And people are just afraid of you. You walk in and everybody runs away. How do you feel? And this is the life Vritrasura lived from being what he was. So, let's feel grateful to Srimad Bhagavatam, to Shukadeva Goswami, to Parikshit Maharaj, that we have been given this amazing gift, which we can now just relish, and we can and then that gives us purification. That's so amazing, right? We don't need to really do anything other than just consume. So humble request, please study Srimad Bhagavatam, take it to your life. Let's see what happens. Just let Srimad Bhagavatam do that magic in your heart. It will do. Srila Prabhupada went to US just with a carton, 3 cartons of first canto Srimad Bhagavatam. That's all he took. Whoever he would meet, just, I have a book, would you like to take? He would just sign, your ever well wisher, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami. So, Srimad Bhagavatam, this is the thing for Kali Yuga. We take short of Srimad Bhagavatam will just, it will make sure that it will uplift us, to the degree we surrender. Like yesterday we were discussing, Srimad Bhagavatam is Krishna. It is not like an alankar, a figure of speech. Right? It is not like that. Oh, this is important. No, this is Krishna. So we just had Bhadra Purnima. Temple looks amazing with all the cover pages of Srimad Bhagavatam, and I don't know how many of us have Srimad Bhagavatam. If you don't have, please take it from the temple. It's also Pitru Paksha going on, so if it's an amazing thing, if you want to donate Srimad Bhagavatam or in general, maybe help temple, please donate to the temple. It's a great time to donate. Let's get a temple in Berlin, new temple. Yeah, it will be nice. Let's make it as the center of Srimad Bhagavatam, where people come, get connected with Srimad Bhagavatam, get connected with the deities, and then make their own lives perfect. Thank you all very much. Thanks for your blessings and prayers. Enabled me to speak. Hare Krishna. Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Shri Bhagavatam ki jai. Any thoughts? Question? You are asking something?
Yeah.
Yes, go ahead.
So Prabhuji, like the person like Chitraketu, who was such a was having such a high service attitude towards Krishna, he had such a fall down. So what's the understanding behind that?
Well, at the end, Parikshit also underwent similar situation. At the end, Arjuna underwent such a situation. As I was telling, the character stands out there. In their level, Krishna is orchestrating things. Right? Ultimately, that's the message. It was Krishna's will. Otherwise, we'll get confused. How is it that Parikshit, such an amazing devotee, such humble, a pure devotee of Krishna, he gets so angry that he throws a snake at Shami Krishi, just because he was hungry and thirsty. If I do it, it's okay, because I do get angry when I'm hungry. Right? But Parikshit is on a different, it's a different league altogether. How can he do this? Right? So we need to understand, this is the, Bhishma was having such a question when Pandavas walked in. Bhishma is lying on the bed of arrows, and he saw Pandavas, he was so overwhelmed. I think, you guys, you are Vipra, Dharma, Achyuta, Ashreya. We always were protected by Brahmanas, Dharma, and Krishna himself. But whole life, you were suffering. There was so much of injustice done to you. Aho kashtam, aho anyayam, yadyuyam rajanandana. You guys suffered so much, and you suffered injustice. How is it possible that Krishna is on your side, Dharma is on your side, Brahmanas is, they're all on your side, and you're suffering. You're suffering injustice. Not everybody is getting old and suffering. You're suffering injustice. How is it possible? And Bhishma answers himself, Sarvam Kalakritam Manye. I understand this is all is being carried out by the desire of Kala, and Kala is Krishna. And Krishna tells, I am the Tattva. So that's the understanding. It's not that Chitraketu wanted to, he he was having some defects. Krishna orchestrates in that level for multiple things. So many things come out, and eventually we learn. The people of our league, we all learn. Oh, this is what it is, and it's nice for us to learn. Many times we think, oh, now becoming devotee means you get nice sandesh and puri and halwa, and that's the meaning of devotee for us, right? You get amazingly made prasadam, which you don't need to worry about. But ultimately, becoming devotee means Krishna tells Arjuna that you become my instrument, and becoming Krishna's instrument, you need to become robust. If you are like a soft person who just, if a small thing happens, Krishna, please protect. Where is the robustness then? Right? Krishna tells you become my instrument. A horrible instrument or a good instrument? Which instrument should we become? If you want to become good instrument, that means I just need to be knowing which key, when pressed, which note to produce. That's all I need to know. Right? It doesn't matter which key is pressed, how hard, whatever. I need to know what's the sound which needs to come out. Right? So to become that, I need to become robust. I can't be like, small things happen and then, as I was telling, right? I failed an exam and I got fever. Right? So where is the robustness? So it's quite a journey. And that's when we understand that I'm so far away from really being Krishna conscious. I still live. Moment by moment, I'm having this whole consciousness which is targeted or channeled towards inside, who is selfish. From there, it has to become Krishna conscious. Right? I need to become Krishna conscious. Right now, I'm self-conscious. That's it. Everything is selfish. So in getting there, Srimad Bhagavatam will teach us. So many all these examples which really feels like that's a bit harsh. Doesn't really, but that's what it is. Krishna will use us then. If we become Krishna's instrument, Krishna will use us also. Not just in happy, nice things. Yeah. The character is that these people will never ask back, Krishna, why you do these things to me? I'm your devotee. You're supposed to be nice to me. So, how can you do this to me? That person is bad. I'm your devotee. You should be nice to me. That's the expectation in a relationship, right? You are nice to a person, you expect that other person to be nice to you. How? Krishna, come on. I am a devotee to you and you just put me everywhere, do whatever you want with me. But that's ultimately what a devotee is. They never question Krishna. Draupadi's 5 sons and 2 brothers were killed in one night. She never asked Krishna, you call me as your sister and I have been such a nice devotee to you, why you did this to me? My brothers were killed, my sons were killed, how can you let this happen? She never questioned. Never. On the other hand, she is like, don't kill this person who killed all these people. Forgive him. Gandhari, on the other hand, just comes and curses Krishna. My sons, they were all dead because of you. You should also suffer. So, quite clear. And we are mostly in the zone of Gandhari. The moment something happens, Krishna, why? Why me? There's so many people there, why me? It's okay, you want to give suffering to other people, that's fine. Why are you giving to me? Why am I suffering? Krishna, please take away this. And something happens to Krishna, please. That's where we operate. So the league is different, right? And that's why Srimad Bhagavatam is giving. There is a different league where you are supposed to reach also eventually, not just, and also understand what's the game there. It's a different game. Different than what we play here. Is that okay?
Yes.
Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you. Hare Krishna.
Any other thoughts, questions? Yes, please. Okay. One of you.
Yes, Prabhu.
Actually, I have 2 questions. First of all, how can we understand these figures which are given in Srimad Bhagavatam better? Because I mean, 60,000 wives from Krishna is hard to imagine, but 10 million wives. Honestly, it's not only that I cannot imagine. Berlin has 4 million inhabitants, and how it is possible to see everyone personally. I mean, if you can calculate how long it would take, and then how realistic, and have a wedding ceremony.
Yes. I actually one day did that. I calculated one day. I don't remember what's the number I did. Something like 28,000 years, something like that would take just to marry. Because I also got the same question. And there are a few ways we can understand. One is that people would live long life. Right? The Satya Yuga, the usual lifespan is 100,000 years. But then we read Bharat Maharaj, who ruled for also 10 million years. He was ruling the earth. But not just earth, but also some other higher planetary systems. The entire Bhumandala he was ruling, sort of. So that's how it became Bharatavarsha. And then, so that's one thing, that in lifespan used to be very, very large. The second is that it need not be the case wherein he is engaging with everybody in one-to-one as such. Many of the previous kings were also, they were having siddhis. Right? So we see like Kardama expands into 8 with Devahuti. So there could be also that possibility that he's engaging with multiple people at the same time. But these are some of the things which are there in Srimad Bhagavatam already. And the thing is that it is not impossible. It was quite possible. Right? Now we don't have the access, so it may seem quite far-fetched. But that's just because of how we think. Like just let's take a very simple example. 100 years ago, if somebody would have told, imagine that you're going back to 1923 and sitting in Berlin and talking with a friend and tell that, you know what, you can sit here and talk with somebody in US, looking at them live. You can do this. How would be the reaction? There was no TV, there was nothing which was visual, there was only radio, which was audio, right? So it's quite difficult to even fathom, to even comprehend that something like this is even possible. Right? But now today is just every small kid, they're 2 years and they know how to use WhatsApp. So they make their calls to their grandparents themselves and talk with them in video call. So the point which I'm trying to make is, because we are disconnected from something which is quite big in its nature, it's a bit difficult, it's almost impossible for us to even fathom how it would be even possible. But because, as I said, the numbers are, there is a word for 10 million in Sanskrit. It's koti. But that's not what Shukadeva Goswami uses. He specifically uses this thing as 1,000 multiplied by 1,000 multiplied by 10. That's how he uses, sort of dividing it up. Now, I don't know if there is some specific significance to how he did that. Maybe he compared it to 1,000 at a time, but I don't know how exactly it happened. But that's how it's described. So 1,000 multiplied by 1,000 multiplied by 10. So it's good if I let my intelligence understand that this is something which I'm not able to conceive, but is possible. Right? It's possible. Just like my intelligence cannot conceive so many things, even materially speaking today. Right? So this is possible. Okay?
Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
Second question would be, actually we are like planning, or we want to go to Krishna and go Loka Vrindavan and so Chitraketu he got only to Shankarshan. So is there also some? I mean, Shankarshan is the deity who is ruling over the false ego. Is there some when you look to the different cantos, is there some significance in that because it's, I mean, sixth canto is the middle, so if you reach the different levels, is it maybe that levels of consciousness, is it possible that there is also some hint there that he is going to Shankarshan, not to Krishna?
So this is like the cat example we were discussing yesterday, right? The cat is in the box. He's only thinking, hypothesizing what is outside.
I mean, I mean not like this, but do you have heard any commentaries or read any commentaries of previous acharyas who are discussing these things?
My understanding is that in spiritual perfection, it does not matter which perfection one gets. Right? Even if we speak of Goloka Vrindavan, there is also different perfections which are possible. Somehow material mind thinks that something is better than something else. Right? That's the mind which is basically thinking of duality. A living entity which is perfect irrespective of the Ishtadev it approaches to. Right? So really, for that living entity, it doesn't matter whether it is serving Sankarshan or Narayan or Krishna in the form of a cow or a peacock or a gopi or a gopa or whatever. For that living entity, it's fully perfect and it's fully satisfied. Now, from the perspective of, maybe we tell there is different rasas which are possible to experience and exchange. That's perhaps, there is difference in that. But for a person, what is needed ultimately, Narada Muni is the best guru possible. He understood this person, this is where his path could be. So he gave him specifically the mantras which were targeted towards Sankarshan and which took him to perfection, to Sankarshan. Not that he was in the perfection, there was no lack as such. He did get perfect, but then things happened anyways. So my point is that I have not come across situations, or at least anybody speaking by any acharyas telling that this was a lesser perfection, or there was more possible and he could only get here, until here. I've never come across any statements like that, because in my understanding, perfection means perfection. So there is a, if you imagine, like there is a 5-liter bottle, 10-liter bottle, 100-liter bottle, whatever. You fill it to the full, they are full, right? So every bottle is full. So from the fullness perspective, they are full. You can't tell that this is less full. They're full. Maybe in the quantity they're different, but that's how I'm perceiving it. This is a very material example which I just gave. But when we speak of perfection, that's beyond the duality of what we experience right now. So that subject matter itself, it's for those who are beyond, right? So I am not perhaps is the right person to even start to address this line of thinking, because I'm still struggling, with very much lower levels where I need to perhaps become a little more pure, get out of duality, and then perhaps other things will be revealed by themselves. So, thank you so much. Hare Krishna. You had a question, Prabhu?
Yes, this Chitraketu's son's name was who?
Sorry?
What was the name of Chitraketu's son again?
Harsha Shoka.
Ashoka.
Harsha Shoka. Harsha means happiness, Shoka means distress.
Achso, this was one question. What is the meaning? So
Yes.
happiness and distress.
Yes,
both in one.
yes, yeah. So that's why Chitraketu was thinking, maybe I'll get a son who is going to, maybe become bad, so I'll get sadness maybe. That's why he was thinking about Vena. Maybe we'll discuss about Vena. So, but then it turned out something else. Totally. right? Which is out of question. Yes. Any other? Yes. So,
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Thank you so much for the wonderful lecture. I have basically few questions, but
Let's start with one.
yes, Prabhu.
Okay, we'll see.
Because interest of time, I just wanted to start, Prabhu, like as Vritrasura also, like at his in lifetime, he asked also for the service for Krishna or for Lord. So, Prabhu, why this is again and again stressed, this point that we have this hankering for service to the Lord. So my question would be that, and how we can also share like this thing that we should ourselves have this attitude or have this mood of service, and how we can also share this attitude to the others also, Prabhu. So
The first part is how do we get service attitude?
no, Prabhu, like why this is a stressed?
Oh, why
again
is
and
it
again?
stressed? I think I quoted a verse yesterday. Atah Shri Krishna Namadi na grahit na bhavet grahyam indriyai. That all the Leela of Krishna, the Nama, Rupa, Guna Leela of Krishna, none of them is capturable by the instruments which we have, the senses, the mind. These things are in the intelligence. They cannot really capture Krishna's Nama, Rupa, Guna Leela. It's beyond. Na bhavet grahyam indriyai. They will never be understandable for us ourselves. Seva unmukhaihi jihvadau. When the person is unmukha, is utmukha, the person is enthusiastic towards service, seva. Jihvadau, starting with the tongue. Swayameva hi spuratyada. All these things will get revealed to us. Right? As such, we don't have the qualification to go and experience it ourselves. But if we are seva unmukha is service, unmukha is being enthusiastic. If we do, and starting with the tongue, so Prabhupada tells that tongue has two important things: tastes and it utters sound. So we use the second one for the recitation of Hare Krishna mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. First aspect is tasting prasadam. With these two things, if we do it right, everything else fall in line. So we sit down, we recite the mantra. Somebody was asking Prabhupada once, Prabhupada, when I sit down and chant Hare Krishna mantra, my mind is distracted. Prabhupada asked, where is the question of mind? You only need tongue and you need ear. Where is the mind? You don't need mind. Where is the mind? You have tongue, you have ear. Just recite and you hear. That's all we need to do. Everything else, oh, is Krishna like this, is Krishna like that? Am I a peacock? Am I a what? There is no need to think. I just need to recite and hear. With that, what is going on technically is that your chitta is getting retrained. We all have habits, isn't it? We have developed them. How many of us have the habit of, let's see, many of you are devotees. Maybe at some point of time you were not devotees, and at that time anybody had habit of drinking coffee or anybody tea? Yes. So it is not that you were born and your mother started feeding you tea. It's not that, right? So you developed it yourself. You started drinking, and then your mind got latched onto that. And then when you are coming to ISKCON, and then you are told, better get rid of tamasic food, and then you have to tell your mind becomes really difficult. Oh my God, no, I don't. So we train ourselves in, and that's how samskaras have been developed in our swabhava is the outcome of samskaras. So we need to retrain the chitta now in doing something else. Right now it's latched onto matter. We need to retrain it to become latched to Krishna. That's the meaning of Bhakti Yoga. So we need to associate that with Krishna. Now how do we do that? Krishna tells you do it 24/7, but I can't start with 24/7. Right? It is like, a Messi is not Messi on the field on the day one. He has to practice whole life, and then he is Messi. Right? Whole life of practice made him Messi. If he was just out there on the field, today I have a match against Brazil, I'll become Messi. Not possible. Right? It's never going to happen. Practice is what eventually makes it. So we need to then, that's why start, maybe whatever, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 1 hour, whatever you can sit down and other than this, don't do anything else. Just this. So mind gets retrained that that's the first service we need to start doing. You know? And Prashadam anyway we do. Right? So that service we are very happy about. So with that, eventually, everything else is not that we only keep doing that. Then eventually, we be enthusiastic about every other service also. And through that service is how we realize Krishna. That's how it's so much emphasized. That is through service. Ramakrishna Maharaj made a statement once that I have no idea who is Krishna, whatever. I'm Prabhupada's dog. Whatever Prabhupada tells me, let's do it. You can think like that. I used to feel not in Ramakrishna Maharaj's words, but in my own way. When Kalamkar Maharaj would visit us, I'd feel I just want to do whatever Maharaj asks, that's it done. I don't need to think. He would come up with, he was very dynamic. To some extent, I'm also dynamic, so we had very good bonding, and Maharaj would be, on the spot, let's do this. Yes, let's do it, no problem. So, it becomes simple that if we just start associating, Prabhupada also tells in our level it's a bit difficult to be Krishna conscious, so we can become service conscious. So service to Krishna is not different from Krishna. So we can become service conscious, which will automatically mean that we're Krishna conscious because service is done towards Krishna. Yeah? Is it okay?
Yes, bro. And bro, I just want
Let's see if somebody else has something, and then we'll come back to you. Oh,
Yes, bro.
what's the time? 11:15. Okay. Those who have come for the first time or not regulars here, anybody has any thoughts? Want to share something? I didn't see you guys yesterday, so imagine you're here today.
You shared that interesting story as the Prabhupada's dog. So in a similar line, I heard one of the Maharaj saying is like, Guru is like a GPS, Guru positioning system. So you want to reach from point A to point B.
Yeah.
So you become Prabhupada's dog, following the master, you will reach there.
Yes. It's very nice. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Very
Anyone else? Anything to share? Any questions? No, you have a question? Go ahead.
Who is Ishtadev?
Who is Ishtadev?
Like-
Well, you'll be, if you don't know yet, you will eventually get to know.
But what's the
The meaning
definition
of it. No, Ishtadev is your most favorite deity.
favorite deity?
Yes. Who is, it could be Krishna for somebody, it's Balaram for somebody else. It's Vishnu for someone, it's Narayan for somebody, it's Lord Ram for someone, it's Jagannath for somebody, so that's the meaning of it.
And Kul Devta,
That's from your lineage.
okay.
Right? So your parents and your grandparents, your great grandparents, or somebody, they have been worshipping. Mother Rukmini had a Kul Devata as Mother Durga. Right? So her whole lineage, they would worship this Durga deity. So Rukmini's Kul Devata was Mother Durga. So on the day of Krishna's kidnapping Rukmini, she devised the whole planet and go and worship Durga, and there's our Kul Devata, and then you come and kidnap me that time. So it's sort of a culture to have a family deity sort of, and this is what we worship. To give you one more context, even Duryodhana had a Kul Devata. They used to worship Vishnu. Dhritarashtra had an amazing altar in his home of Vishnu. They just didn't understand Krishna is here. They used to worship the home. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, Mataji?
Yesterday I wasn't here, so I don't know if this point was already touched.
Mataji or Vaibhav Prabhu they will put in YouTube I guess soon, so you can hear afterwards. Go ahead.
The question is there any competition in spiritual life? If there is one, how do we deal with it by not feeling?
Can you give some context to it? What do you mean?
Like, let's say, if someone's let's say I'm reading Srimad Bhagavatam now, and I share this with someone, and they get a bit intimidated, and they start reading, and then they want to kind of put thoughts into me as if I'm not reading it properly, so something like that. So that sense of competition and also this feeling of trying to push you down. So how to deal with such things?
So the first part of question is that competition in spiritual life. I don't know how many of you have seen. There is a picture of, maybe not here. There's a picture which part of Windows to Spiritual World gallery, art gallery, which was done when Srila Prabhupada was there. Krishna and Balaram are running, and thousands of covered boys and the calves and cows are running behind them. And have you seen this picture? Krishna and Balaram in the front, they're running, and an innumerable amount of cows and boys were running behind them. So this was a transcendental game wherein Krishna and Balaram would run, and then everybody is running to just to go and catch them. And the game was who reaches them first. So everybody, so you can see that there is competition, but just with a twist that it was happening in Vrindavan. And Vrindavan is a place, as per Srimad Bhagavatam, is a place where there is no envy whatsoever. So the competition is not based on how we think competition is. The competition was based on the consciousness that I want to run as hard, as fast as possible, so that I inspire everybody else to run faster than me. Right? So that's the thought. That's Vrindavan consciousness. Now our consciousness is that I want to do it because I want to do it. Yeah, because I want to do it. So there is a difference in this dynamics. Right? So in real spiritual life, you could say that there is competition, but this competition is targeted not towards the self, but it's about pleasing Krishna. Right? So I want to do it. I believe it was in Chopati many years ago. Devotees approached Radhanath Maharaj and told, Maharaj, you have done amazing book distribution. Usually in December there is book distribution marathon, so people go out and do a lot of Bhagavad Gita distribution. Of specific Gita Jayanti comes in that period, so devotees are highly enthusiastic. There is a lot of worldwide counts, which temple does more. So devotees went to Radharani and told, we came second. Usually they were not in the list, but then 1 year they did so much, and they, please bless us that we become first next year. And Maharaj told that I bless you all that you do 10 times more book distribution and come last. So everybody does more, right? So that's the feeling. And so yeah, there could be competition, but the competition should be at how do I inspire? And then I don't feel that person is doing so much. If somebody else is doing that to you, it takes a bit of more heart now that you are at the receiving end of that. But you need to really understand, the other person is not really qualified much, they're not advanced much in spirituality. Let them feel whatever they're feeling. There is no need to go and counter and then prove that I am right, you are wrong. It's their life. If they feel envy, it's going to hurt them, not you. Right? So you have to be really careful. Most of the times we get hurt because we think it's for me, but it is not for me, it's for them to get hurt. If somebody is angry, it will hurt them. If somebody is envious, it will hurt them, not me. I just need to do what I'm supposed to do, and that's my seva. Yeah? Thank
Thank you very much.
Okay? Anyone else? You had a question? Or Raghav?
So Prabhu, not with this topic, but you specified a little about destiny. So how you define destiny, and how what things are fixed and what things are variable, and how Krishna, by doing devotion service, things can change. So because new devotees, they ask this question very
It's
often.
good, somebody asked it, right? So the question is, what is destiny? How much time do we have, by the way? It's 11:20. What time do you want to serve Prashadam, Sumit?
10:30 maybe.
10:30. Tomorrow, right? Let's have one full day of Bhagavatam. It's going to happen tomorrow again, 10:30 in the morning. We can start with first canto now. So the question is, what is destiny? What is in control? What is not in control? In simplest terms, destiny is your own actions, the reactions for your own actions which are coming upon you in the future. That's what is destiny, right? The results for your present or past actions which are coming on you in the future. That's the meaning of destiny. Now, if a person has, usually I give an example. Let's turn that example. Anybody want to become a guinea pig? I want to run an exercise. Who wants to become a guinea pig for the experiment? That you become the person I'll be calling out. Then what's your name, Prabhu? Harsh. You live in Berlin, Harsh?
Yeah.
What's the biggest bank in Berlin or Germany? What is it called? Deutsche Bank. Harsh decides to rob Deutsche Bank. Okay. You decided it, okay, yourself. You called your name. So now Harsh has only seen movies. The Italian Job and the Money Heist. He has seen everything. He has mastered the art of at least making a plan. Now, we all know, at least for a fact, maybe most probably, that he has not done it before. Right? But he has only watched movies and made a plan now. Now he is in the branch of Deutsche Bank, and then everything is set. Now we are with Harsh, just only hypothetically, Harsh is there. He's just about to take the money out of it now. Right? So there is a desire which somehow got triggered in Harsh's mind in the beginning. And eventually he made a plan, got everything right. Now he's there in the bank already. How he figured out everything is just up to the imagination, but he's there now. He's about to take the money out from there. What is running in Harsh's mind?
Don't get caught.
Don't get caught. What else?
I'm going to be rich.
Yeah, I'm going to be rich. Yes.
The plan gets
Take
executed
all the money, yes.
properly.
Huh?
The plan should be executed properly, and he should be
He should be out. Okay.
Anxious little bit.
Huh?
Anxious.
A bit anxious. Why?
Because if like
Fear factor.
yeah.
There is some fear factor.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
It's first time he's doing it. it's the first time. It's a fear factor. What else?
Where is the exit door?
That's already, he knows those things. He's already planned.
What if the police got him?
What if the police catches? Yes. What else? Yes.
I got it.
I got it. Yes. Good. He accomplished. Yes.
How to use the money?
How to use the money? Okay. What else? Perhaps it's not the question that time. It is just taking it out. Maybe question for later. What else?
Keep it as a secret.
Keep it in. Okay. Also perhaps for the future.
How much do I take?
How much?
Yeah.
Okay. There's so much. How much do I take? Yes.
Will I be able to carry all this?
Yes. What else?
What if he dies?
What?
What if he dies and caught and
Definitely not. That's the question.
Where
there.
to go like after this?
And that's already planned.
He should be careful.
What else? There is one thing which you are missing. If this is happening for the first time,
Do I really need this?
do you really need this? Right? That voice will be there. Because this is the first time he is doing it. And let's say, let's say, Harsh just overcomes that question. I really need this. Yeah? Takes everything, exits, all the plan is set, goes out. But because this was not the most central bank of Europe, there is, and his plan also was flawless. Everything was, just. And there's just news that this robbery happened, but nobody knows whatsoever, and nobody catches. Right? Now what happens?
He comes to Jagannath temple, donate all.
You wish. You really wish you do that. What can happen realistically? You have to think like the robber now, right? You can't think like Harsh. You have to think like the robber now.
He will do it again and again too.
Not again and again. First he'll do again. Right? So because there's a confidence now. I went, I did this. Yeah, it was all flawless. That's the next target. Right? There's a little bigger bank maybe, right?
I think he would buy expensive things because maybe he likes it.
Yeah, he can do all those things, but then because he's not caught.
Adrenaline rush.
Yes, I want to do it again. Let's do it. Bigger bank now. So he went to Swiss. And then also now at the same time he is there now. The final slot now, right? He has to take out the money. What is he thinking? Harsh the robber now. Same feelings as before.
But he'll be confident that time.
There is some more confidence now, right? I have done this. I know plan is perfect. Is there a voice that is this needed?
No.
No.
No, you can't tell that there is no. There will be little less amplitude.
Yes.
Agree? It's not as high as how it was first time. There is some voice. It's a little less amplitude. Now imagine Harsh has become a pro. The second one is also, perfect. Harsh did the third one, fourth one, fifth one, 10th one, 100th one, 1000th one. He's dropping whole world now. Right? Let's say now he's doing the 1000th. Right? The only question I want to ask is, how big is the voice? Is this needed? Right? Or are you doing the right thing? That voice almost dies out. Now it may be a funny thing to discuss, but you go and you can see the documentaries wherein they have interviewed serial killers or serial rapists. They ask these people, "Do you feel something?" And they tell, "No, I don't feel anything." You can watch. That perhaps is not the case when they were doing it for the first time, but then they continued doing it. So that's the meaning of how you're creating your own sabhava, right? So samskara is being generated by your actions. You're consuming, and eventually you're telling you're suppressing these voices, and then the voice never heard. Now, can you tell that it is Harsh's destiny that he became a serial robber? And there was a voice which was telling, "Is this needed, Harsh? You can go back the first time, right? If Harsh would have just listened to that and gone out, perhaps it would not be the case what we saw in the end." So my point is, destiny is your own creation. Of course, there is other elements which are at some point of time, and this is an example. This is not you can take it as something to think through, but you create your destiny. Personally, for me, that's the only thing which makes sense. Many religious, different faiths, they think some people think God creates it for you. It's nonsense, isn't it? If God puts somebody in suffering, somebody else in happiness, what sort of God is that? Right? Some people tell it's all chance. It's all by chance somebody suffers. It's also a bit too much for me to accept. What makes me comfortable is that I am responsible for what's happening to me. That's the whole karma theory. Now, if you become observant of what you're doing now, you can start then playing or understanding that yes, I can actually then start controlling it. Right? It's like a parent. How many of us are parents here who have children, like small children? Not. Let's say you're
Oh.
Chetan, come on. He got lost. It's okay. So if imagine that you first got your child a toy which was like 50 euros, yeah, and the child gets the toy, smash it on the ground, and toy is gone. So next toy you're going to buy, what's the worth of it? 10 euros. It smashed 10 euros also. The moment it gets, just throws it and just smashes it out. Hare Krishna Chaitanya. So what's the next worth of the toy then? Play with whatever you get on the street, man. So you see, that's how Prakriti plays with you with how much free will you have. You have certain free will, you misuse it. You're given less because you're bound by your own karma now. Prabhupada had free will. Prabhupada's free will was that I want to build 108 temples for Krishna. And Prakriti just facilitated that. Yesterday we were discussing, right? If our desires are in line, if they are aligned with Krishna's desires, they get fulfilled. So that means that you have 100% free will. You can choose whatever you want, but then you won't do whatever you want. You will do what Krishna wants. Right? So that's also meaning of Bhakti Yoga. Your buddhi is not driven by selfish desires. Your Bhakti Yoga, it's an association with Krishna. Your buddhi. Right? So Krishna is driving it. The desires are coming from Krishna. If somebody is misusing free will, right, like Harsh did, robbed all the banks, so eventually you're a serial robber. You are conditioned by your own activity, you can't stop. That's the meaning of loop back system in karma, right? The whole kuta, bija, and then prarabdha karma and aprarabdha karma, right? This loop feeds back to the desire again. And he just can't stop. He has to keep robbing. Otherwise, he will be so frustrated. Now he's conditioned. You can call it as destiny. He's destined to be a robber. Next life, he is born as a robber now. Small child is going and robbing things. Right? You may tell, oh, what's wrong? You know, he's born like that. No. It's not. In this life, Harsh chose. He has to rob toys back because he was inspired by money heist. So yeah, that's where the desire. Now the question is, when did I get that desire in which I have to be away from that? It's an irrelevant question. Yesterday we discussed about the box cat inside. The more important question for the cat is, when do I get out? How do I get out? So how do I get out of this cycle of birth and death and the cyclic reactions of karma? That's more important question. And to think, when did I get in? Hare Krishna. Any other thoughts? Yes, please.
Just follow up on what you said.
I'm Harsh. You can ask him.
Regarding the destiny part.
Sure.
So, like as you said, like these are the conditions being given, right? And some people, by birth, they become criminals.
Yes.
Some people become robbers and
Yes.
whatnot. But this is something they have developed over many lives.
Yes.
This is not something that they are born and they just start robbing.
That's the
out
meaning of samskaras, right? It's
Yeah.
there as impressions in your subtle body is being carried from life to life to life. So all your samskaras are being carried from life to life to life.
Exactly.
Sure.
Is the other thing, but then how does one really understand that if this samskaras, if I'm born with, like people in the outside world, people will just tell that, you know, oh, this person is prone to do like this, but then they never get a second chance to prove themselves right or not. I mean, I'm talking materialistically. Spiritually, if the person really has a mercy, he will get into a spiritual path and realize this is happening. But you know, how do we make people realize this? That, you know, this is something, I mean, like, this is not completely your fault, but it is also your fault at a point that you are not taking any action to prevent this from happening in the future.
Well, the question is, how a person who is totally destined to be suffering, how will he ever, you know, become better? Now, Prabhupada was once asked this question about what Raghava asked, you know, is there a destiny or is there a free will? You know, people outside also, you know, they're always intrigued about this. Is everything prearranged? Is, you know, if there is a free will? So Prabhupada took a very nice approach this time in answering this. Prabhupada told, your destiny is to rot in this world. That's your destiny. Doesn't matter who you are. All of us, we are destined to rot in this world. Right? But Krishna is merciful, and he has come himself. He has spoken Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, and there are gurus and acharyas here to help you uplift. So, as human being, it's up to us. At the end of the day, we still have the instrumentation to think beyond. Right? Now, whether we use the instrument or not, that's up to us. It's like somebody has a Mercedes Benz or a BMW or a Ferrari or whatever. You use that to plow the earth. Yeah, that's one use of it. You can also use it for other purpose. Right? If somebody is stuck in the mind that, no, I can only plow the earth with this and just destroys the car, what can you do about it? Okay, fine. But you can also tell them, no, actually, you can use it, and it's up to them. So that's what ISKCON as a movement, that's what we do. Right? We go and create this opportunity for people. We need to be humble about it. You know, there's also a danger of we becoming proud about it. Be really humble about it. We have got this opportunity by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's and Prabhupada's mercy. And we can try to be that catalyst and the cause of change for these people. And it's up to them afterwards if they want to take it or not. But at least we can be the source of inspiration. Why only some certain people get that? That's the meaning of ultimately, you know, Krishna. So many people help Prabhupada in doing so many things, but one specific person was helping Prabhupada in constructing temple in Mumbai. Prabhupada told him, just like you're helping me to construct temple here, Krishna is building a house for you in Vaikuntha. Right? Oh, that person got mercy. No, I can't go and ask Prabhupada, tell me also. No, I'm also helping him in this. It's up to them. And that's the meaning of mercy. That should just be letting Krishna do whatever he wants to do with us. Is it okay?
Yeah, and one more thing, like you said that we need to realize this, that if our actions are in line with Krishna, or if they are in line with Krishna's will. Srila Prabhupada, when he began this entire journey, he faced so many hurdles.
Yes.
He could just easily give up and say maybe it's not in Krishna's will for me to do this entire movement, and I should just go back to India and just go back to Vrindavan and just continue what I was doing. He could just do that.
Yes.
So when does one realize that we need to stop now, or should we take more attempts, or we need to stop later?
Beautiful question. So Prabhupada would actually, if you read his history, he would just go till the harbor and see when is the next ship going back to India. He wouldn't book. He would just go and see and come back. He did it many times because he was almost giving up, and just conscious that maybe I'll have to go back. He was writing to his god brothers constantly, and he didn't give back because he had a clear idea that yes, I will try and I'll exhaust all the options. Let's see what happens afterwards, right? So exhausting all the options means that you're aware that this is the exit plan. If nothing works out, this is the exit plan. And Prabhupada had that. He was a revolutionary in that regard, that he would do some things, and we see in the institution also. And he would do certain things, and if there would be it's not working well, he would change it quite fast. He was not stuck to an idea that it has to happen like this. So the point of when do we in our level understand when should we stop is perhaps if you are in doubt, you should perhaps get some guidance, right? Because we are not in a level wherein we can I can be in connection with Krishna and Krishna can guide me personally. Perhaps it's better if we have some guidance from senior devotees that this is what is happening, and those who you really trust, and you can go and sit with them and explain to them this is what is happening and this is how it is. What should I do? And so in our level we need guidance. Prabhupada level, he operated in a different, that was a different league again. The game is different, right? So in our level, we're not in that level. So we need some bit more involvement from seniors. And that's the beauty of an institution, right? You'll have some people with whom we can go and ask, this is the situation, what should I do?
But sometimes we are in the position when we don't even get that.
Then you should seek out. You should seek out. That is the meaning of you approaching a person humbly, asking relevant questions, and serving them. Okay? So we need to do that. If you don't have, then you should seek it out. There will be people for sure. Yeah. It's 11:40. Yes, Sumit. Yeah. You still have one more question? No?
I'll ask you later.
Yeah, you ask me. Okay, fine. Great. So thank you all very much. Really grateful, Janita Prabhu. Thank you for allowing me to come and share Srimad Bhagavatam with you all. Hope I'll come back. I don't know when, but I want to come back. Last time I promised Janita Prabhu that I'll come once in 3-4 months, and I was supposed to come in July, and then